Yeah. Yes, sir. Episode 5, y'all, for Promotional Use Only, brought to you by PromotionalUse.US. What's up, y'all, my guys?
Yo, man. What's good, man? Got a special guest in the building, my man, Al Patron, prolific author, entrepreneur. What's going on, my guy?
Ain't too much, brothers. How you feeling?
Good.
Good, man.
Definitely can't complain. How my brothers feeling? Everybody else? Gunna, Mike, what's up?
Good.
Everything good, man. Everything good, man.
We about to be on phase 2, man. Phase 2 Monday. Just speeding by.
Keep your mask on, man. Don't be at the bars and shit like that, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah, yo.
All right, Al, we gonna, you know what I'm saying, tap in with you, find out everything you got going on in a few. Let's hit some, you know what I'm saying, some little topics we're gonna talk about beforehand, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm sure y'all getting a lot of emails like me with these brands and these corporations, you know what I'm saying, speaking out about Black Lives Matter, you know what I'm saying? So do you feel like they're truly behind the movement, or is this just a ploy to continue to benefit off our black dollar, man? I'll go around, man. Let y'all speak your mind about that. I'll start with you, Al.
Start with our guests. We definitely got to start with our guests, man.
Bullshit. It's pure bullshit. Because why did it take for everybody to see us get killed for them to like start fixing things? You could have been doing all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, y'all make it seem so easy. Like it's just a statement's gonna fix racism all of a sudden. Like they be playing in our face. Like if you really look at it, like they did the Band-Aid thing. Like they literally tried to put a Band-Aid over things. And you know, the surface, they put Black Lives Matter on the surface in DC. It's a surface thing. You know what I mean? These are little subliminal things that they do to fuck with us. And I'm not trying to be like the deep, but it's the truth. That's
man. It's just for promotion only, man. You gotta give it direct. That's what we here for. Like, this is what this is. So you good, man.
I can curse and everything, right? I can curse no problem, right?
Yeah, cursing, yeah.
Okay.
You straight.
Yeah. So fuck them. It's like, fuck them.
We talking about though.
Because honestly, all of this stuff could have been taken care of years ago. And then it's just like, are they going to keep this same energy when the whole world isn't looking at them? Because they know that they're under a black microscope right now. So it's like, you ain't got shit else to do. We're quarantined. It's like, all right, you might as well fix racism.
Right. Let's throw that in there.
We're the last priority. We're always the last priority. So it's like, until I see this 5 years from now, and then not only see it 5 years from now, where are your black executives? Where are the people in your company that represent us for real?
Right.
So we see that. I don't believe none of this shit, to be honest with you.
I feel you, man. Gunna, what you feel, baby?
Yo, man, like I feel exactly what Al was saying. I'm piggyback off of him. It's the same thing. I think they saying it now because, you know, it's in. It's cool now. And shit is hot. Like, this is heated. Like, people still protesting. It's going on like 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks, damn near a month. So, like, before where it was like the H&M coolest monkey in the jungle and the boycott Gucci, and it was just like, now it seems like it's like Black Lives Matter. People watch this man get killed. People was riding for it. So now you can like really get canceled. And I think niggas just trying to make sure that they don't end up on the wrong side of the fence. And it's still crazy because you still got cats like Starbucks and all these cats, like Starbucks, let's say Drew Brees, for instance. Like, you got people like that seen it, still say the bullshit, and then they go retract it and then try to be like, oh, I had a moment of clarity. Mike Gundy, the OSU coach, dude. Ohio, you know what I'm saying? This Oklahoma State coach. Ohio State. What? No, not
Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was listening to him read his apology and shit. And, like, this was last month when he was just bigging up this news, saying they speak the truth and all this. And so you mean to tell me that now all of a sudden, a month later, and one of your players come out and say something, now you had a moment of clarity and Black Lives Matter? Like, he was reading it from a teleprompter. It sounded like it.
Yeah.
It's the bullshit. Like, they smart. They doing what they got to do because they know the black dollar is powerful. And like we said that before in the past, but like, I really feel like it feels different now. Like this right here, like with the protests ongoing, it feel a little different. It feel like you could really fuck around and get yourself canceled. But like Al was saying, like NASCAR taking the Confederate flag off and all that shit ain't doing nothing for NASCAR. Okay, they ain't gonna have the Confederate flag. Them niggas still racist. When we gonna see black pit crews and shit like that in NASCAR? You know what I'm saying? We start seeing stuff like that, and when they start including us, that's when I could say, all right, maybe they getting it. But until then, yeah, they playing, you know, it's in now. It's the end thing to do, and they trying to keep them dollars coming in, so you're gonna do that.
Right. Mike, how you feeling?
Same, man. That's why I brought it to the attention, man. All these like brands that's just coming out. You got so many people that's affected by this, even women. I know women workers that you've seen under like different brands, like in every industry, you know what I'm saying? From whether it's from fashion, whether it's from beauty to every single one. You see them with these like mock-up hands and different stuff. Like, you know, we know what that is, you know what I'm saying? So we just got to really understand our value of the dollar and how it really stretches and really what we could do if we really understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all like I agree with 100%, but with Alec, man, that's why I just exactly said, like, yo, we got to really, really fix this whole thing together. If we can really understand that, say like, yo, run down different businesses, black businesses we want to build with. But that's what the move is right now, man. I think that shit is bullshit. I think that's all.
Kind of piggybacking off of you, you know what I'm saying? Sorry I cut you off too, but piggybacking off of you. I don't think, to be honest with you, man, we powerful enough as a people. We don't need to have outside help. Like, we could do all of this shit on our own. You feel me? And more or less piggybacking off of you, Ghana, as far as with the black dollar being powerful, like, that's true. However, we don't keep it in-house. So black dollar is going from my community, 6 seconds versus in these other communities, how long it stay and circulate. You know what I'm saying? So we can do all of this on our own. You know what I'm saying? Of course they trying to piggyback off of everything going on in relation to, you know, all the protests and the movements and things of that nature. Of course they're gonna do that because they know that we're gonna spend our money with them once all of this shit go away. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, word, like
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So if we can just be loyal to each other and loyal to, you know what I'm saying, each business that we got going on, man, yo, we can do so much out here, man. It's crazy, man. But you know, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, like after the summer, man, I just hope it don't just manifest and fester away, but I just feel like that's what's gonna happen. And unfortunately, we're gonna spend our money with these companies and these corporations again, man.
Yeah. That's definitely gonna that's absolutely going to happen. You know why it's gonna happen? Because people are gonna be so happy to be coronavirus free that we're just gonna go back to status quo anyway. Nobody's gonna like have that focus on it, right? And the thing that you said too about the black dollar, right? It's like we don't give ourselves the type of prestige that we give these other institutions and companies and stuff like that. It's just like, say I write books and I have this company that's like, I'm not talking to y'all. Y'all be holding it down for me. But like, people have to see white people co-sign me before they fuck with me.
Yeah, that's whack.
I'm standing right here next to you telling you about me. Why do you need somebody else to tell you about me?
Yeah, for sure.
Stuff like that always pisses me off.
That shit is a lot right now. That's a thing now too. You know what I'm saying? Like us looking to feel like we have to be sought by somebody else of like a higher to understand like who we are, what we putting out. And it's like, nah, that shit is like, that shit ain't what it's for. Nah, we really passionate what we doing. We creating it for that. We not looking for like somebody to look at it. Oh yeah, we gotta get that. That's the thing. We be doing that shit way too much. We don't need that.
That's the episode 6 of episode 5 and that black ass fuck when I was telling you when homie had met up with
yeah.
Exactly what it was about, yo.
Yeah.
I mean, just like it's a Chinatown, just like you go into Jewish neighborhoods where they got their own shit, they got their own hospitals, they got their own police, they got their own church. You know what I'm saying? Everything that they have of their own, that's the same way we can be. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, we just look for inclusion so much that we get lost in the sauce, and that's just what happens. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? What you said, that word right there, that word be tripping me out because it's like inclusion ain't shit but token. It's just a cuter way to say it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you say inclusion, diversity, and inclusion, but it's just like how included are we in the decision making? How included are we in where the money gets spent? How included are we in where the money gets kept? Like a lot of it is just like what you guys are saying about going. It's like almost like a social climbing thing. And this white acceptance, like we're trying to empower black people in a space of white acceptance, and it just never makes sense to me. You know what I mean? It's just like, yo, we're trying to convince them that we're good enough just so we could turn our backs and shun where we came. Like, it's just the weirdest shit. Just so I can shit on it. I be with the Jewish niggas. I be with the like what? So I be with the niggas.
Exactly.
What are you saying?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, like, I hate shit like that.
Exactly, man. You know what I'm saying? So while we on the topic of Black Lives Matter, you know what I'm saying? Of course, the whole the movement at the moment, Kyrie Irving kind of going to basketball right now. Kyrie Irving his standpoint on, you know what I'm saying, not playing to continue to bring awareness to the issues at hand. You know what I'm saying? Does he have a point, or can you both support a cause and play a sport?
Yeah, that's that man. Like I think, like it's crazy because this is the same Kyrie that chicks was just mad at a few months ago when he had the the boat ride where you had a certain complexion or something.
Yeah.
But I definitely like. I was listening to Kyrie, I was just watching it earlier, and they were saying the headlines say like Kyrie is like, yo, let's start our own basketball league, but it's really like the call was him taking, he's talking about holding the general managers accountable. He's like, yo, we superstars, like every team is like 20 superstars, right? So like, or whatever superstars, he's like every team got a superstar, and these are the people that's closest to the owners of the team, and owners are closer to politicians and people on Capitol Hill because they have the money. So we need to start holding them accountable. And I feel what he's saying, like, I don't know what he's doing it for, if he's doing it for his brand, like, maybe, but I definitely feel where he's coming from. But I definitely see where like LeBron and all of them are saying like, yo, we could play both. You know what I'm saying? We can focus on two things at one, multitask. But Bron don't really, Bron do his thing. Like I fuck with Bron when it comes to as far as like speaking up off the court and all that. But Bron don't really got to say much in this sense because you got A.V. Bradley and Dwight Howard, two of his teammates, that's also leading the helm with Kyrie. So I feel as though like, once you like Bron can sit in the background and just chill because they holding it down. But I don't have a problem with what Kyrie is saying. I get it. But a lot of people are saying they're centered around like the Nets not going like they're not going to be contenders and shit. Like people don't want to go out there and play knowing damn well they're not going to be contenders and risk it and do whatever. So it could be anything. But I can't say what he's thinking. But I feel it. Like I heard it and I sat there and I thought about it. I was like, all right, I see where he's coming from. If that's how he feels. But
so going back to what you said real quick about Bron, right? Now with the kind of platform he has, right? You don't think I'm not saying he has to do the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he definitely doesn't. But you don't think with the kind of platform he has that he can most certainly bring more awareness to everything going on just with the platform he has alone.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Like he's did a lot from the beginning of. He's did a ton from the beginning and all. He even went back at and shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he can definitely use his platform to raise it high. But Bron want that ring, man. He did his talk. He like, man, I want that motherfucking ring, dog.
That Jordan documentary came out. He said, "Wait a minute, no. Last Dance. I'm gonna show y'all niggas dance." Yeah.
More than a vote. He just started some more than a vote joint too. LeBron, but like that's what the people like. Did you see? You heard about that?
What the
more than a vote? Nah, I haven't done any research on that as yet.
Yeah, it's something he just started up. He's supposed to be building with a couple of other players and whatnot.
Yeah, Trey Young and them. Yeah.
That's what's up.
I know you had something to get off your chest in regards to this topic, man. So go ahead, man. Let me hear you.
I hate Kyrie Irving for not coming to the Knicks. Fuck him for that. But for him to say that, like, why is the first thing that people do say, no, you can't? Why not? See, people have this idea that the NBA is just like this really progressive league. The NBA is still a white billionaire boys club. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, they have one black owner, and that one black owner just happens to be the best player that's ever existed, right, in the sport. And then it's like he had to get jerked in Washington in order for that to happen anyway. And then on top of that, he got it from another black owner. So it's not like we were just being included. It was just like, we passed it from the first black owner to the next black owner. And it's like the NBA, look at the NBA owners. I think people have too much reverence for the NBA because we love the players and we love the sport. But the NBA is still a business. It's still a corporation. It's no different than these other corporations that are putting out statements. It's the same thing. Because if you look at it, like even with LeBron, and I love how LeBron uses his platform, uses his voice off the court, but at the same time, what really changed? Look at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was doing this 50, 60 years ago.
Right.
We always seem to end up back here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for them to try to put the pressure on LeBron or any player, America loves hiding their racism in sports. We come together. It brings us together. Nobody does. We're not one team.
Yeah, you hear Stephen A. and them. Right.
Yeah, of course. And I hate using the term coon or bootlicker and stuff like that. But like, he knows what he's doing. He always sticks there. I'm from Hollis, Queens. So you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You talk all that shit from being from the hood. You know. So I feel like we always end up back here, and ownership for me is so important. It's like, this is not 1960 anymore. Why are people bucking at the idea of players actually doing it themselves? What is this reverence for the NBA? Look at all the team owners. Like, everybody thinks Mark Cuban is this woke, progressive dude. He's been ran a frat house basically in Dallas, and then they all caught up on some like sexual harassment charges, and he put a black woman in charge to clean it up.
Yeah.
The Knicks, Dolan, that's my team. Dolan's a piece of shit. Dolan, remember when Isaiah Thomas was here and all that shit that was going down over here? He paid Isaiah Thomas's whole sexual harassment suits, paid him off. And then what did he do? He hired Isaiah Thomas to run the Liberty, a women's basketball team. And this is the mentality. Donald Sterling. You think Donald Sterling just became racist that one clip? He's been racist.
Been that way.
He's not the only one. He's just the one that got caught. So it's just like, I don't have the same reverence for the NBA as everybody else. So I love the sport. I love the players. But if Kyrie says they can start something new, everything had to start somewhere. The NBA didn't just become, it started somewhere. Yeah. Every one of these companies that we have this prestige for, the Oscars, the Grammys, whatever these institutions that we hold up high, they started somewhere. Somebody along the line gave them prestige. Why don't we start? If we're burning shit down, we're defunding the police, we're burning all these things down, we're funding more education, we're doing all of these things. Why is the NBA exempt? Like, what about the NBA makes it so special? Because we see us in it. That's great. That's players. That has nothing to do with the corporation itself. Because if you look at it, the players are just spokes on the wheel. They all change. 20 years, how many of there's 20 years from now, none of these players are going to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to be a whole new set of niggas in there. And we're going to be right back here at the same spot. And if you really look at it, I'm sorry for being so long-winded, but like, if you
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
You good, yeah?
Shit with the LeVar Ball. Like, remember when he wanted to do that league? Look at the G League now. That's what they do. They vilify you and then they swipe your idea. That's what they did. They swiped his idea, and because obviously they had more resources for it. So they stole his whole shit. They stole his whole blueprint. And now everybody in America looks at LeVar as like this old crazy dude that, why? How? You're literally doing everything he did. So,
sure.
I don't know. That's fucking NBA. Shout out to Kyrie for that.
Yo, that shit's real. Definitely. They don't give enough respect to LeVar, man. Niggas are calling him crazy like for nothing. He been blueprinted it. For real. Real talk. He's like, what? Taking this kid out of high school? What? I'm like, what are you talking about?
And like, yo, he did the same thing Archie Manning did, yo. The same way Archie Manning was with his kids, with his the same way. It's just that Archie Manning was Archie Manning, he's white, and that's LeVar Ball, yo. Like they were saying that.
I'm glad you said that. You know what? Same thing with like Rich Paul. You see how people like Rich Paul is ruining it.
Yeah.
Rich Paul was white. If Rich Paul was white, they'd call him a shark. You know what I'm saying? They would use those words, but he's black, so it's he's that's in the best interest of the black people. So of course you're not gonna like that.
But LeVar Ball, man, he boastful, he confident. You know what I'm saying? So
they don't like that.
They're not going for that. It's like, nigga, stay in your place. Who are you to be? You know what I'm saying? This kind of person, you want to kind of promote your kids in this manner? Like, hell no, stay in your place, nigga.
That's white lady shut up on TV. That was the greatest shit I ever seen in my life. You told that white lady you used to stay in your lane or something.
Yeah. And then printed up some The best shit was he printed up some T-shirts about that shit. He put up some T.
He's the greatest.
His market. I'm gonna be honest. His marketing game is incredible, man.
He's no different. He's no different than an old nigga in the barbershop to me. Like, when he says these outlandish things of, I'm going to beat you. We all know he's not going to beat no Jordan and nothing. Like,
say the most outlandish shit.
That's it.
You know who he is? He's the barber in the first chair. The nigga that nobody goes to. He's always talking shit. He got all the stories. He's always eating. He's like fucking entertainer in barbershop. Like, he's that. Just always talking shit. But it's like
basically what everybody do on Facebook. What everybody be doing on Facebook. But he did it like shit, regular shit. That's it. And believing in his kids. That's it. And believing in his kids. Look at his son. Look at his son. What his son gonna be next year? Come on, look at what he's about to be. Oh no, don't take him out of high school. Look at him now. 6'7".
Top 5 pick.
Top 5?
Easily top 5 pick.
They say he could go number 1.
What?
Between him and dude from Georgia.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards.
Yep. Man. Pull him out of school. Same thing for
I kind of get back on topic. You know what I'm saying? I respect Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? For sure. I want everybody to be this way from now till infinity, till whenever. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit been happening long before George Floyd. You know what I'm saying? So I just want everybody to keep the same energy as we move along. You know what I'm saying? Because unfortunately, shit ain't gonna stop. You seen what just happened to homie in Atlanta. God bless him and his family. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't gonna stop. You know what I mean? So more or less, I just want everybody to continue to have the same energy.
Yeah.
When this movement, when these protests and all of this shit is over with, I just want everybody to have the same energy. That's it, man. It's been going on long before George Floyd. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean?
I have a thing about that too. Like the George Floyd thing, honestly, is like if you really look at it, and I would never diminish like what anybody's life means, obviously, but like I feel like every election year, every 2 to 4 years, they flaunt a black murder in our face. But somebody's getting paid off of this. Now, for me, again, I'm just thinking about it in the sense of we were in quarantine. We are in quarantine, right?
Right.
Everybody's social distancing in place. So police were not getting their hours. They were cutting back on everybody and everything. What's the way to get them money? Protests. These niggas is eating off the overtime. They're eating on overtime. They're chewing right now. So it's like they do that to incite us, knowing that we're gonna go back outside. And then the thing about keeping the same energy is like, for me, is like, are people protesting because they really believe in this? And I'm not talking. My question is niggas.
Right.
Or is it just because they want to be outside?
Yeah.
There's nothing else to do because, you know what I'm saying? So it's like things like that always pop into my mind. And then I look about the sneaky laws and policies that they be passing under the table that while we're all angry, they're doing something like we're paying attention to the sword, they're paying attention to the pen. And that's what they do. They be sneaky with shit. So like, I'm looking at the laws, like perfect example of Breonna Taylor. How are you gonna pass a law saying that you can't serve no-knock warrants for having arrested the motherfuckers that killed us?
Yeah, fact.
They're still on the force, for sure.
It's shit to fuck with, but it's to fuck with us. Because none of it makes sense. Because we can sit here and with logical thinking, clear mind, it's like none of this shit makes sense. The only thing it does is anger us. And we end up right back here again. You know what I'm saying? Like every year, Kayvon 12, Mike Brown 2014, Alton Sterling. Like it's just always a name. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of it, when they don't stop killing niggas. Sandra Bland. The other day, homeboy from Brooks in Atlanta.
Yeah.
He did the right thing. He got dropped and said, "Now I'm going to sleep," right?
Yeah.
And they still, right? So it's just like, I feel like they do that on purpose to fuck with us because now we know those names. How many names don't we know?
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
For sure. I feel you. Yeah, it's a lot of people, of course, they just doing this shit. They just trying to be involved with the shit just to be involved. You know what I'm saying? Like here in Richmond, for example, you know, Monument Avenue. I'm not sure if you remember, Al. Mike, I'm not sure if you remember either. But Monument Avenue, it's a long strip where back in the days it was a slave plantation. However, now it's an avenue where they have Confederate monuments, right? However, they have the Arthur Ashe monument. And somebody defaced that shit. So I'm like, yo, what fucking sense does that make? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I want to take this shit serious, man. But when shit like this happening, it's like, yo, come on, dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like, all y'all out there marching, protesting, y'all didn't see this motherfucker, whoever it was, defaced the Arthur Ashe statue. Like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, it's crazy, man. A lot of this shit, motherfuckers just doing it just to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want some legislation to be passed, some laws to be passed. I want some black CEOs, black, you know what I'm saying? Everything, presidents, all of that shit with regard to these companies, with regards to Senate, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the real change I need to see in order to take this shit serious.
Let me ask something about the legislation shit, right? Like, I'm not too much of a political, like, law type. Like, I know the law.
Right.
What not to do, right? Because that's been beaten into our heads since we were children, right? But at the same time, it's like, killing people is supposed to be illegal. They get away with that. They get away with it all the time. So it's like, so us getting new legislation or any type of reform, they're just going to find a new way to do it anyway. Like, that's how I look at it.
Another loophole. So, I got you.
Another loophole.
It's another loophole. So it's like, what's the real answer to me? I look at it like, yo, just burn all this shit down.
That's what we got to find out. That's what we got to find out, dog. It's the only way, man. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? As we proceed, man, you know what I mean? We little segment we do, man. It's just some black business shout out. So I had like 30.
Yo, man, Mike, go ahead. I'll be back next
Got
week.
like 30 last week.
Any black businesses y'all want to shout out, man? Go ahead, give them their love right now, man.
Yeah, so we got for promotional use only approved joints, man. These are the ones that I've actually shopped with or I actually just know offhand, and these are my people's. It's a candle company, a handcrafted soy candle company, black-owned, Sentiments. You can check it out at www.sentiments.com. That's CINNTIMATES.com. And one of their special candles you can definitely check out is Comfort Zone Candle. That's home. Like I said, we approved those. We definitely had those. Streetwear brands, of course. I'm no ashamed of that and in my field of that. Shout out to my dog D. To my homie, man, on Riots and Roses. Y'all can check them out, riotsandroses.com. Got a couple of cut and sew masks. It's got some other pieces probably going to be knocking out. But he's been in the game real strong. You check them out. I rock with them. That's clothing. See, we got so many. We can go to grooming now. Shout out to my guy, Sonny D. The vision what he's building is really dope, especially for times like this. He's giving you key notes on what you could do, probably telling you not to cut your hair at home right now. You know what I'm saying? Probably just doing different things. But he's building on a real dope situation. It's groomguy.com. You can check him out on Instagram too at groomguy. Yeah, that's another joint to check in. Real estate, black real estate agents. You know what I'm saying? My homie. You can check him at Your Favorite Agent 007. He's a real estate agent for any people that's looking out for small rooms or business or 1 to 2 bedrooms out in NYC. So tap into that. And then we got my homie from NYC, man, catering as far as whatever you want as far as fish cakes, jerk wings, sweet chili wings. His brand is called Souvenir Wings. You find him on Instagram at Souvenir, SOOVENIR_wings. And yeah, you can check those guys out. He's been around for like 3 years.
He in the city?
Huh?
He in the city?
Yeah, he's in the city in New Jersey, in the New Jersey area. So definitely y'all check him out. Give him a call, 929-269-5108. He's been around for 3 years. That's approved. We definitely did check the food out and everything like that. It's definitely some good stuff right there. So tap into those few businesses, man.
Gotcha. Gunna, anybody you want to shout?
Yo, I got one. My people's over at the Black Sports Network. It's one of my boys. They do a lot of good things. They pretty much, the Black Sports Network, they work with all level athletes on all levels. They trying to build a community of, where we could pretty much be our own, you know what I'm saying? Be our own media outlet. It's going to,
Right, for sure.
So they working on that. They have interviews with agents. They'll have black agents. They'll do a black agents interview showcase, and they'll talk to different sports agents, black people on the scenes, if they went to HBCUs or not. They have live yoga sessions and shit during the week, just something for mental awareness and all like that. So they just trying to cover the full gamut. They tell stories.
Right.
They cover everything from baseball to hockey, man. Even the sports that you don't even see us in. They'll be talking about blacks and fencing and stuff like that. So it's a dope network. You know what I'm saying? A lot of informative stuff on there, and definitely
Right.
give it a look, yo.
For sure. I just got one. My man Greg for credit repair. His Instagram is CEO_Rose ROZAY for all your credit repair needs. He's been featured in I want to say the Forbes in relation to credit repair and things of that nature. So check him out. Al, I know you're a guest, but you got any black businesses you want to shout out before we proceed?
Yeah, Ivy's Tea Company. It's down in Maryland. Her tagline is elevating the herbal tea industry with hip hop culture and doing a good damn job. And she's very in tune with the culture. She's one of us. Her name is Sinead.
Nice.
I first met her. She was she had gotten one of my books, but then I started looking at what she does. And listen, I'm a tea drinker. I don't drink coffee like that, so I definitely vouch for her shit. It's on Instagram. It's Ivy's Tea, IVYSTEACO. Ivy's Tea Company. I vouch for her.
Nice. Gotcha. All right. Moving along, man. I know, Mike, you had a segment you wanted to kind of introduce behind the brand.
And this is a great one for as far as Al's coming on too. You know what I mean? I think I bought this one to bring this segment apart as far as just conversations of just the struggle of things of what it's like building a brand, the behind the scenes. I think even with what we just came with before Promotional Use Only, that was the whole thing of it. Just having more conversation. If you're one of those people that's kind of like not showing your face so much or not, I think that's one of the things too that I wanted to just bring about and just have a conversation about just like those things, like just to inspire others or what it is, kind of like the things that you got to go into building it from the bottom, the hardships of it. So just those things, Al, you being a guest too, like any things that especially is like moving through COVID-19 right now, like what are just some things, you know what I'm saying, especially that you've been just pushing through just behind the brand to get yourself just keep motivated every day.
All right. So before you answer that question, Al, we might as well just give you the full introduction, right? So Al Patron, author, entrepreneur with the Invented Network, you know what I'm saying? Al, before you answer that question, give us a brief background of yourself and how you came to pass, you know what I'm saying, especially with your businesses you're currently on right now.
All right, so I started as a photographer, with poppin.net.
Yeah.
Kind of that had me moving around the city a little loose. But I mean, listen, it was different from when we grew up. We didn't have to yell that we were outside. We were just outside. You know what I'm saying? And like, we were just moving, you know, that's what it was. We were just moving around, and I used to just, that's how I built my network. I used to build my network face to face, hand to hand, like that type of thing. And it's really crazy because people only know me as a photographer still. I haven't done photography in like 10 years. Like that's how people know me because again, I went so hard with it outside like that. And I feel like that's lost now. And I'm not going to criticize younger people like that because I love how the younger people move a lot. But it's like they don't have this same, I'll do anything for it because it's such an instant gratification thing. For me, my whole slogan, my whole thing is build, don't climb. I like to take my time with it because I want this shit to last. So that's where I really started was with this photography. And I feel like the natural progression, because I've always wanted to, you know, do television and do things like that. So the natural progression from photography was writing. So I started writing like blogs and stuff. Like I had MySpace, Facebook, and then I started posting them on Twitter. Started like really like,
remember that.
you know what I mean? So I just kept on writing. So then people would just tell me like, yo, take this shit seriously. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna take it seriously. And then I started gaining traction in like my first book, like, bro, I'm gonna tell God's honest short story. I was at Knicks versus Suns on a Sunday afternoon in December of 2012, excuse me. And you know, there's a hotel across the street from Madison Square Garden, Hotel Aria. I think it, right? I went down there to the hotel bar, had a drink with one of my friends, and he's like tapping me. He's just like, yo, look over there. I'm thinking he's showing me like some woman or something like that. I'm like, yo, stop touching me, first of all. Secondly, what is it? And it's some guy that had my book. I'm like, all right, what's this bullshit? I'm thinking he gave the dude the book, trying to set me up, trying to get my shit up, like confidence up and stuff. He go over there, he started talking to the dude. Now the dude's like describing it. It's like, yeah, yo, this dude's crazy, but he be making sense. I'm like, get the fuck out. I know you. But he opens the front cover. He's like, hey, my girlfriend got me this book. He opens the front cover, and I really signed it to his girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? And that was like less than a month after my first book came out. And then I started seeing it pop up around the city. I'd be on the train. I'd be looking like, that's me. But I was like, I don't know. I don't honestly, like, the way that happened, I can't take credit for that. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I'm so nice. But that was God, man. Like, there's no other explanation for that because that's just like not something that happens to people, especially like me. I felt like my luck was like some shit luck at that point. So like for that to happen to me, I think that was just divine intervention. And then that gave me the confidence to keep going, keep writing. And I wanted not only to keep writing, keep putting out shit, because at first what I did was I kept putting things out because I liked the feeling that gave me. So I was chasing that feeling as opposed to getting better at my craft. Then I really decided to take this shit seriously in the sense of, yo, I will stay in this room. I will close everything off. I'll shut my phone off for months at a time and just lock in and really write. Like, you know, people be like, they're in album mode and stuff. I treat my books like it's album time. Like nobody's going to see me. My facial hair be looking crazy. I'm really in here trying to like focus and get better at it. And I think that's something I really want people to really understand, work on your craft. Because, like, take an example, and I'm sorry, I always go off a little
Go
bit,
ahead,
but like,
man. Go ahead, man.
Good.
Good. Go ahead, man.
like, remember, people were like really mad at Tyler Perry for not hiring writers and stuff. They were like, he's in the writer's room by himself and all this stuff. It's like, all right, I can understand that because like everybody's starving for an opportunity and stuff. But you're sitting here, you're pissed at him. If he calls you today, are you ready? What do you have on hand? I promise you, I got material on hand. If anybody was to call me, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the thing that people are missing with the preparation for that moment. Because it's gonna come. If you keep working it, you're gonna meet it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's coming to you, you're attracting it and you're going towards it. So keep writing, keep whatever it is that you're doing, keep doing that.
Yeah.
So that's like, for me, that's always been my biggest thing, is to keep writing. And then from there, so photography, writing, the natural progression again is to go to film, television, and stuff like that. And listen, I put out a film based on my second and my third book. The shit was terrible. I'm not gonna sit here and like lie. It was bad, but I needed that experience. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I always had this saying, like, I don't take advice from people without scars. Because how can I trust that, like, this perfect image? I don't believe that. I want to hear about when people took an L, because that lets me know that, you know what I'm saying, you really want this. Because it's easy to, like, you see the Jordan documentary, and he was like, it's easy to talk shit when you're up by 20.
Yeah.
Be down by 10. Let the score be 0-0. Let me see you get it done.
Yep.
That's how I feel about things. Because now I can know that, like, you really actually love this thing. And I think that's something that, another thing that I want people to understand. I love this shit. Like, I always love making people laugh. No matter, I'll do anything to make people laugh. I've been like that since I was a kid. Y'all know that. I'll just I'll do whatever. I don't care.
Right.
Just make people laugh. But that's the best feeling in the world to me. You know what I mean? Seeing other people laugh because I did it. And for me, you know, when you're younger, it's kind of like some clownish shit. But now I try to do it like more like intellectually, and like try to get people to think like, oh shit, like they catch it when they're by themselves later or something like that. And I love this shit, you know what I mean? And I really want people to know that, because it's like, when you take that, because you're going to take a bump, you're going to take a loss, that love is the thing that's going to keep you going to do.
So that's the motivation for you. That's your inspiration.
I love this shit. So I love this. I've known what I wanted to do since I was 8 years old. I've always I wanted to be Martin. You know what I mean? Like that whole, I didn't want to be like Martin. I wanted to be like Martin. That's me. Like, I'm literally that kid. And like,
right.
So for me to be here, that's God allowing me to do the thing that I love the most. And I don't take that shit for granted. And that's another reason why I go so hard, because this entertainment thing, and this is a privileged thing that I have. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that, and I'm never going to be one of those people that, 9 to 5. No, that's just hard too, because listen, I'm not built to deal with the microaggressions of people in offices and stuff. I'm built to tell people to go fuck themselves. You know what I mean? So it's like, God bless the people that have the patience to deal with that. I wish that we didn't have to have that, but seeing that patience that people have to deal with that, I'm impressed, because I don't have it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't play myself. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the most self-aware person, especially when you get older. You kind of just know who you are. You don't be like bullshit. Right.
You don't deviate from that, right? Right.
That's where I'm at now, and I stay to what I know. I love this shit. I stay right here, and I'm blessed, bro. Like, to be able to write and do the thing that I grew up wanting to do. And listen, it's not exactly where I'm at, because trust me, I would prefer to be on everybody's television screen every single week. You know what I'm saying? You know what time you're gonna see my show, but at the same time, like, how is this not, to me, how is it not success? Success is you're doing the thing that you love. And listen, I'm not homeless. I have a roof over me, I have food, and I have hot water. I can't complain. So like, everything after that is gravy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the thing that I'm looking for me, now that I'm in this position that I'm okay and I'm secure and I'm fine, is to put other people on. It's that Mob Deep line. As long as I'm alive, I'm gonna live illegal. And once I get on, I'm gonna put on other people. So like, that's where I'm at. And I always do that, by the way. I always compare stuff to hip hop lines, because I'm just like,
I respect that.
I'm a nerd about rap and shit.
Reading your books, man. You always do your correlations because of hip hop with that. Yeah, for sure.
I love doing that, because it's like, that's where I'm from. You know?
Sure.
And I will never, like, as much as I always look at the relationship between comedy and hip hop, because you look at hip hop, the best rappers are sarcastic and funny as shit, right? They be saying slick shit and stuff, right?
Right.
That's humor. that's comedy
Right.
a little bit. You know what I mean? So I'll never let go of that, my roots of that. But I just want to put people on because it's like I know how hard I had it coming up. Nobody put me on. I had it again. I had to be outside doing it myself. Nobody gave me anything. And listen, at first, I kind of had like this resentment, and I would like, mentor younger people out of resentment for older people not doing that for me.
Right.
That's not a good way to go about mentoring younger people. You have to do it because you want to help them, not because you're trying to prove somebody else wrong. You kind of just want to prove yourself right. And that's my whole thing now. It's just like, and it's not like just waiting for them to come to me. I actively search out people now. And like, when I go grab them, like, I see you got something going for yourself. Here's some tools that I can do. Like, I know this information and I'm not selfish about it. I'm not going to hide it or like, here, you got to charge you $100 to pick my brain. Like, no, get the fuck out of here. Listen, I know something here. I know something here. If I can introduce you to this person, I will. Don't embarrass me, please.
And that's crazy because that was going to be like one of my questions to you in regards to the Invented Network. You know what I'm saying? I think you already answered as far as with, I know you already answered as far as with the inspiration behind it. But more or less, how do you seek out the talent too? You know what I'm saying? That you kind of feature them on the site as well. I think you answered as far as with like going out looking for talent. You know what I'm saying?
I look for them. I definitely look for them, and I want them to be aligned with how I think and how I feel in the sense of I don't do persons of color. I don't do that. I'm black.
Right. For sure.
I look for people that represent. I want black artists because, again, I feel like people try to treat us a little bit differently. Like, bro, I can't tell you how many people I've written stuff for, and it's the funniest thing in the world. Like, I'll say something, and I'll say it like this, and I'll say it the same way somebody else said it. And nobody pays attention to the way I said it. But once they hear it from this person, they love it. Not knowing I'm the one that wrote this too. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's one of the things one of my friends told me. They was like, yo, you're better as a vessel, like giving people that, just give it to other people because it's still you when it comes down to it. And so I feel like writing and creating these characters and doing stuff like that, I know that younger people are struggling with that. So I kind of go seek them out to make sure that, like, yo, you don't have, I kind of give them the game in the sense of you can do it this way. You don't have to like keep forcing it because people are not paying attention to you. Use other people to get your words out. You know what I'm saying? So like when I see people like writing shows and writing films, that's what they're doing with their work. And hopefully like especially now with Juneteenth coming up and everything, the temperature of the country right now, I feel like the temperature of the world. I feel like they're actively looking to support Black people and support Black artists, and I feel like this is our time. And I want to see those guys get it. And for me, and I'm not even doing it on some, OG, shut up. Fuck all that. I don't want none of that. Like, I'm not there. Leave me alone. Let me be in the house watching whatever I want. You go ahead and go do that. I had my time in the sun. I want to play the back now. You know what I mean? So it's like I just want to see people do good. It makes me happy seeing, you see how I am on Instagram shit. If anybody's doing half of a thing to improve their situation, improve themselves, shout out to this person, check them out. Because I just feel like even that little thing for their day, it changes somebody's day. And we don't have that type of support. Usually on some, that little niggas was my era. You little niggas wasn't outside. What is that? If we don't take care of each other, what the fuck? I already know how hard us young Black people
we in this shit for, right? Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna let you be at home and get it from me too. No, I'm gonna give you love while you're here. You can, so no matter what happens when you go outside, when you come home, you got love right here. That's why, like, for me, I love being Black author, Haitian author. Call me all of that. That's not just in me. That's where I belong. This is where I want to be. I don't want to be. You know how many times I'd never signed a contract in my life, and I never would.
Wow.
At one time I sold the script to something, and they didn't make it. They paid me for it. They never made it. It's sitting on the shelf, and they own it. That turned my lights. That turned that light on. Okay, bet. Now watch this. Nobody's ever gonna own nothing of mine. Nobody's ever. Because when you look at it, what am I going to do? I write books, right? So what I'm supposed to do? I'm going to sit here for a year thinking about this book, writing this book, and then what? 10 years, and give it away to somebody to let them sell it. Yeah, sure, I'm going to make some paper, but at the same time, 10 years from now, I'm going to go over there crawling and begging for them to let me buy back my shit.
Exactly.
Then I'm supposed to act grateful for them letting me purchase it back. Like, what?
Right. Fuck out of here.
That's the misconception of the world. They trick you and they trick us into believing ownership is a favor.
Yeah.
Like it's this thing that we have to earn. No, we don't.
Yeah.
Listen, Dame Dash is the wrong person to have let get in my ear. Because once I hear him speak, I'm like, oh, you on the same type of time I'm on.
Yeah.
Some shit about like, yo, you don't need nothing else. You just need Wi-Fi. You have Wi-Fi. You have access to how much, not only access to people, you have access to the information of how to get stuff to people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's from creator to consumer, like that. Just direct.
Right.
I mean,
I was like, I wasn't more or less surprised that you never signed a contract like in a bad term. You know what I'm saying? Like more or less, I was kind of happy to hear that you've never signed a contract before. You know what I'm saying? Because as a creator, you get put in that loophole that you have to sign a contract in order for your work or whatever the case may be to be, publicized or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So,
but it's not only that. We be broke.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna lie about the hard part about it. This shit ain't easy.
Right.
It's not easy, and that's why, and they know that.
Right.
So they know that, like, okay, it's not easy. So here's a little lifeline to you.
Yeah.
And then what happens is that you get so enthralled and so like you're enchanted by the lifestyle that they gave you that you forgot why you're here for it to begin with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I always say this, like, the same thing that gets me invited to the party is the same thing that they want me to check at the door. That's not happening. You want me, you want me. You're getting me. You're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? So I was thinking about like Dave Chappelle. If Dave Chappelle turned out $50 million, bro, like, and look how he's being blessed right now. You know what I mean? He came up, but at the same time, it's like, if he know that, then hell no. He just turned it down because he was just like, yo, I don't like what it's doing to my spirit. I don't like how it's Are they laughing? Yeah, laughing with me. They're laughing at me. Like,
at me, yeah. All money ain't good money sometimes. Like that's
at all.
Yeah. All money ain't good money sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
But we need it. But we be broken. We be needing that shit.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We be broken. We needing that shit.
From music artists to everything, like we be needing that shit. That's why niggas be acting a certain way when artists, and then the next thing you see them, they go to a label, it's like, oh shit, I know you, and it's like, what? He was just the same person. It's just like, wow, you see, because of Def and the Jam, it's like, it's a crazy shit of what, like, I think of, like, the name, like, kind of like just that thing that brings us to, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's this, and it's like, oh man, you gotta have that same energy for that person when they like brown hair, whatever it is.
Yeah, that exactly what you said. And
we gotta stop.
I got lucky. I got lucky that I was around and outside early with the photography thing. So it's like I saw all of it, and I saw what it did to people. I saw what it did to the people that signed the papers. I saw what it did to the people around them. I saw what it did to and making people. I don't have ops. Like, what am I beefing with anybody about? What are you talking about? Like,
you know what you wasn't gonna get involved with.
Right. It turns people into something that we don't need to be turned into. Like, why is that? And it's like, what they do is like, when they dangle that carrot, it's kind of like, they come over here and eat half of our shit, right? I always say this. They eat half of our black pie, then they go home and eat all their white pie. Because, like, dead ass, could I go to whatever, Sweden or Irish or what? Can I go and be a voice in their culture? How many white people are voices in our culture?
Exactly.
How and why? And the only thing that we have to do left is each other for the scraps that they're leaving with. And I'm not falling for that. There's enough for all of us to eat. I mean, listen, I'm very competitive. I'm also competitive. But I have to be, because I'm doing this by myself. I literally do this shit by myself, bro. I respect that. My books. Still to this day, I pack my books when I made them since I've done myself. Still, so it's like, so I have this competitive thing, and I take everything personal. Like Jordan, like, that's me. If you look at my first book in 2012, I wrote it. One of the chapters is Michael Jordan, because I loved how competitive he was. But that's like not a new thing that I'm jumping on the wave. So it's like, there's space for everybody, just not at the top. Like I need to be the best at this shit.
Right. For sure.
I have to, because I don't have a machine behind me. I'm my machine. You know what I mean? So
Right.
but I just don't want to do it in the sense of I'm being malicious towards another Black creator, or I'm being malicious towards somebody that's looking out for my best. I can't do that. I'll let them like they want to do that. Because trust me, I've lost out on opportunities because other people hated on me. You know what I'm saying? I've not been on MTV shows and VH1 shows because people were like, yeah, not him. Like, everybody wants to kind of keep me a secret because, like, if the world sees it, it's like, wait a minute, that's the nigga I get all that stuff from anyway.
Yeah.
So why do I need
Yeah, cut him out. Yeah, cut him out. Like, you go straight to it.
I just never want to do that to anybody. I just never want to treat people. But I used to have that, like, this anger towards people that look just like me. Like, nah, how to put this nigga in that spot? That should be. Nah, I can't do it. I can't do that. And I think that comes with age too. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not no kids no more. So you see it, and you just like you start to realize, like, yeah, wait a minute, you're not my enemy. The system and the people controlling this shit. That's who I need to be going at, and that's who I've been going at. If you look at my last few books, I be going at the niggas full throttle, and I don't care no more. You know what I mean? I have too much love for my people to be acting like that.
As it should be, man, for sure. Man, listen, man, as we winding down, you know what I'm saying? Anything Al touched on or didn't touch on that you guys possibly want to ask or, you know, kind of convey?
He kind of, I was going to ask him if you planned on making any more movies out of your books. Are you going to revisit that, or? That's
the one thing I want to do. All right, so it's funny. Like, I don't know if you guys watched it, because trust me, I had a hard time watching Crazy Rich Asians.
I want to add something to that question that you just said too, because we're talking about filmmaking. You said, "Yo, I failed miserably on my first attempt at filmmaking, but it changed my life. I felt like rock bottom, but God motivated me. Or when I'm meant to be, failure motivated me to become a student and master craftsman. I need to be the greatest. It's not everyday goal for most, but God showed me I'm extraordinary." Can you like even go on that? Like piggyback off that, like that whole situation, like how important it is, kind of like to just.
Bro, it was bad.
That feel bad.
I just wasn't ready.
Yeah,
I wasn't ready.
Nigga said, "Yeah, I saw it, yo."
Oh shit.
I want to see it, man. Now I want to see it, man.
Never.
How important is that though, as a creator? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of people don't understand, like, you know what I'm saying, how important is it just like own that shit, like, yo, this shit was trash.
Yeah,
like,
yo, feeling is part of the process, yo.
Right, exactly.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was feeling myself. I thought I was invincible.
And that's what I was saying, knowing Al. I said, "Yeah, I know this nigga. Yeah, he's a very confident person, which can come off as cockiness to others. But I said, yo, he had to be in his bag with this joint. Like, really feeling himself.
You could have told me nothing.
Damn, I want to see you find that shit.
It was like the Mario star, when Mario be on the star. That's how I felt for the first 2 years. You couldn't fuck with me. I was getting number one books after number one book after number one book. You couldn't tell me shit.
Yeah.
I'm saying, it's just like, what? You couldn't tell me shit. Then that movie, and it was just like, and I'm not gonna lie, it fucked up my confidence for a while because I didn't put out another book for another 2 years. But again, like what you were saying, is how important was it? It was the most important thing that's ever happened to me, not only professionally but personally, because it kind of made me like, I started turning into something that I didn't want to turn into, and it kind of like made me go back to why I started. And that's why I touch on the love that I have for this shit, because it's like, it reminded me like, yo, you're not after fame, you're not after this. And listen, I want everybody to have that type of a run. Go have fun with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna try to play myself like it's not a fun thing. It's a beautiful thing. But at the same time, it's not the end all be all, because at the end of the day, you're gonna have to go look at yourself in the mirror and be like, that's not you. And then you start thinking about who you're representing and what you want to represent, because at the end of the day, when you pass away, you want to be able to have a story that you're proud of. Like, people, you know, your name rings out in a different type of way. It doesn't want to be like, when people say your name, you don't want them rolling their eyes. You know what I'm saying? You kind of want them to be like, yeah, I know that nigga, that's my nigga. You want that. And it's not so much even about validation. It's just about making people feel a certain type of way.
While you here.
Not only
are you here?
while you're here, but not only with your work, but just your presence. Like I shouldn't,
for sure.
I shouldn't walk into a room and people be like,
to inspire, point blank.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I want people to walk into the room. It's like, cousin.
Yeah.
I want people to be happy when they see you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
don't let you stand for something. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Well, this should.
I feel like that was a thing for me. And then when you fail, when you're here and then you fail, it's just like you have no choice but to rebuild yourself in the way that you know you should have been the first time.
Yeah.
So now, like, when that second run comes, that third and that fourth run comes, you're like, I'm not getting caught up in any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm at the point right now where I'm like, I'm comfortable being the dude in the back of the club that nobody has any idea what the fuck I do, who I am, nothing.
Oh yeah.
I'll just work comfortably. I don't need to do none of this loud shit. And it's an age thing, but at the same time, it's just, what's the point? Like, I look back and I cringe at half of the shit that I did when I was winning big. You know, I'm like, God, you were doing that? What were you doing?
Yo, man, I think about Gypsy T and Eugene's all the time, yo, and it's like, oh man, like I remember what's popping. It is crazy, yo, because Al, it seemed like you was always ahead of the game. Like when the photography shit was popping off, it was like, yo, you already had a lane in it. Like, and when it moved on, like MySpace and all that, like you was already wow savvy on Twitter when Twitter was popping up. Like I was just learning how to, fuck with the information. You was already on there. You had a following. Like people was fucking with you. Like I'm like, yo, man, Al, stay on point. He stay ahead of the game. Be like, I always from the what's poppin.net joint. Be like, from then on, I was like, nigga, be right. from when we used to be in store, going behind the gate, going to Shorty crib and smoking on the porch.
The cow.
Wait, what's that? What's that? Net was you? That was you? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, that's dope. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Remember niggas used to walk out, but man, I'll come back with the glasses case. Like, wow, Duchess rolled up.
Man, your pictures wasn't it if you ain't had that or 7 days.
Yo, what's popping? Yo, what's popping? That was it, yo.
If you ain't had that or 7 days, 7 nights. It was like,
exactly, man.
What you doing?
Yo, what's popping was the move. I used to talk to. Yo, that's my man. It's my man type. What you mean, like? I used to get love off that.
Yo, man, I definitely applaud your ascension, man. You know what I'm saying? Came a long way, man. Straight up, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much. But I feel like I'm not done yet, man. I'm not done. And I'm not saying like not accept I accept the love, obviously. Completely accept it. But at the same time, it's like there's another level that I want to go to that's like sometimes I don't see it. You know what I mean? And it's really weird to say that because it's like, how much of the game do I have to play to get there? And to me, I'm only going to play the game to a certain point, and that point is where people think they can tell me what to do or how to be. If I can't be, like, you want me to be an artist, right? Everybody loves an artist when they're in their artist bag or when they're doing that thing. But the second you speak out outside of that, it's like, wait a minute, hold on, we're paying you to do that. You're not allowed to say, you're not allowed. I can't be that way. I need the freedom to do and say as I please, you know what I'm saying? To say whatever the fuck I want when I feel it. Especially now because like, and it's not like so much that I'm just gonna sit here and just start saying like whatever that comes to my mind. No, but it's like there's a message that I want to convey that people always try to look at like the Black community as like this voiceless thing. We're not voiceless. You're just not listening. And I feel like I can convey our message in a way, whether it's from books, whether it's in movies, or whether it's just me speaking. I feel like people will listen to me more. Maybe it's because I get aggressive with how I talk about it when I get passionate and shit, and I make people listen to me. But because when I say they, I mean like younger people or our people, when they do it, it comes off as aggressive and it gets dismissed because people are only listening to their tone. But when I say it, I feel like people really take hold and really pay attention to me saying it because I'm not just saying it, I did it. You know what I mean? It's like, so you know how people are like, oh, yo, fuck it, let's just start our own shit. No, that's who I am. So it's not like I'm just saying something that I wouldn't do. I live the shit that I'm trying to like tell everybody else, let's do it. And listen, I'm not gonna act like I'm like against making money. No, man, I love money just as much as everybody else does. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's just the world that we live in, right? So I want it to. I want to be able to do nice things with people, but do nice things for my nephews, do nice things for my friends. You know what I mean? I want that shit too, but at the same time, it's like that can't be it.
Yeah.
That can't be it. That can't be it. And I say that because it's like, if money's gonna be the thing, make it that it's the thing for everybody else, so that that person doesn't have to worry or struggle behind it. That person doesn't have to go. And people look at you like you're food because they see you looking a certain type of way, you're doing a certain type of thing. Like, yo, fam, I'm representing you. I'm trying to hold you down right now. I'm trying to kick down the door for you so you can come and build whatever the fuck you want over here. And so that's why, again, I'm not with all that, ops and all that shit. If a black person even thinks they have a problem with me, they don't. You know what I'm saying? Because I just don't have that in me. And I hate that, like, a lot of us, like, black creators and stuff like that, they kind of, like, move away from where they come from. And I'm not calling them sellouts or anything like that, because listen, sometimes you can't go back to where you're from because you know what I mean? You just can't. I get it. But at the same time, like, I don't want them to turn their back on the idea of there might be another 10 of you waiting to get pulled up. So, like, don't turn your back on them in that sense. Like, yo, go grab them motherfuckers, whatever, young men, young women, whatever. Go get all of them. You know what I mean? If you have the wherewithal to put yourself on, you have the wherewithal to put other people on.
Absolutely, how it should be, for sure. I respect that, man. Listen, as we close out, right? We got a segment called Rapid Fire, Al. So you on the clock, you know what I mean? So Mike gonna hit you with some questions before we close out. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So hit him with the rapid fire, Mike.
Rapid fire, 90 seconds, 15, and we start right now. Boom. Favorite sport?
Basketball.
Favorite player of all time, any sport?
Scottie Pippen.
Favorite rap album of all time?
Volume 2.
Favorite movie of all time?
Coming to America.
Favorite author other than yourself?
Michael Eric Dyson.
Best advice you receive?
Don't listen to anybody.
White tees, black tees?
White, black. I'm not a criminal anymore.
Favorite food?
Tacos.
Favorite place to take a visit to?
Queens, New York.
Favorite thing to do on the off time?
Watch Martin.
Nike or Adidas?
Checks over stripes.
Chester Checkers?
Say that one time, sorry?
Chester Checkers?
Same board, chess.
Got
I hate
you.
when people say checkers.
One book you had to recommend to any of your audience that they need to grab. One book.
Yes, we're Haitian.
Got you. Biggest lesson you learned in life thus far?
Be good to people. Worth it. It's not even about karma. It's not even about karma. It's just worth it. Just be good to people. See them smile. See them in a good mood.
I see they letting the fireworks off in your neighborhood, Gunner.
Yo,
so good luck with that, man.
What is that, though? What is that? Why is that everywhere?
Yo, they must have found they found the shipment or something. I don't know. That shit is all throughout the city, yo.
It's in every borough right now. I don't understand that.
It is really crazy.
Yo, listen, man. Al, man. It's been a pleasure having you on, man. Great conversation as always, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be here anytime you guys need me to be here.
100%.
Appreciate you, man.
We appreciate that support, and
your train of thought,
y'all.
Your perspective, man, is something different, man. So definitely had to have you. You know what I'm saying? We look forward to having you again in the future. Yes, we're Haitian. New book in stores. Because I tried to get it the other day. It was sold out. It's back. You got to restock?
Yeah, go ahead. Dish it out if they can't find a book. Dish out everything you want to give out, too, as well. Right now.
Do your shouts, Al, before we get out of here.
AlanTachone.co, not .com.co. I got to be a little bit different always. The Inventive Network, the Inventive.net. And I just want to shout y'all out, man. I see what y'all doing. I see what y'all building. I'm glad that you guys are doing it. And you know why? Because it's like, I know y'all know each other. I know y'all love each other. So it's like, it's for real. It's not like just some put together thing trying to market something. It's like, this is a real conversation that y'all had that y'all were just recording. You know what I mean? So, and I appreciate y'all doing that. And I want y'all to keep being involved, being authentic with it.
Wow.
Don't
appreciate that, bro. Wow.
Don't listen to anybody. Do y'all thing. Nobody, because you know what?
Appreciate
numbers, that. Fuck all that other stuff. It's gonna happen when it's real. It happens. You're gonna meet it halfway. So it's coming to y'all. I promise you.
Appreciate
Much
that.
love, my brother. I appreciate it,
man.
man.
Word.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me, too.
Word.
Anytime y'all want me here, I'm here.
We appreciate
For sure.
that, man.
Yeah.
Wrapping us up, man.
Episode 5,
man.
over and done with. You heard?
Y'all go ahead. Y'all know
Y'all
the
continue
deal.
to be safe, man. Continue to quarantine, man.
Word,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Continue to keep your foot on them, man. Like, don't give up yet. Continue the protest. We just got to keep it up, man. Like, this is just the beginning.
Can I add one thing? I just want to say it. You can't ignore women in this conversation, in the sense of, bringing in George Floyd, but we have to remember Breonna Taylor. I don't know how to pronounce this woman's name, Latoyan, the woman that was found the other day, the activist. She's 19 years old. I just think about just think about us as 19. Think about if we didn't have up from 19 until now, if we didn't have that life that we lived in between 19 and now. Forget her being a activist for us. She just deserved to be alive, period. She didn't need to do anything for us. She just deserved her life. And I just hate that women get ignored a lot in these conversations. Let me be specific. Black women get ignored a lot in these conversations. And
Yo,
facts.
They get lost in transition, you know what I'm saying? For sure. And we're going to make sure we pinpoint and bring some
we definitely not going to forget any of that, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we got black queens around us too, you know what I'm saying? So
exactly. We need to protect. I think we need to protect us. I feel like people are too comfortable doing stuff to black women.
Yo, I'm seeing a lot of stuff.
I'm not even
seeing a lot of stuff lately.
I saw the other day, man.
I know exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I definitely, we definitely gonna bring a lot of that to the talking table and all these other things as well, man. Because we got black queens too as well. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, so, you know what I'm saying? Our mothers are black queens. Period.
I'm raising two. I got 2 daughters. Elle got daughters. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We got, you know what I'm saying, and I'm seeing a lot of people calling those people out and stuff like that. That's good too. You know what I'm saying?
I'm seeing that the OGs is actually saying like, yo, that's not the way.
That gotta get fucked right now. Like those things ain't supposed to be happening, man.
Oh man,
that's why I said that it goes back to that mentality of just doing it just to do it. So people just doing things for this whole like being seen. You know what I'm saying? Like that's an evil thing now. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are using it for the wrong reasons of being seen. You know what I mean? And that's a problem that we have in our society.
That's why you gotta have morals. That's why you gotta have principles. That's why you gotta have integrity, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's what that's about. You know what I'm saying? So everybody got a phone now, using it for the right reasons.
Yeah, facts.
What Elder said. Even if today's your first day participating in morals and principles about it, let it be the first day. Who cares? Right. Everybody had to start somewhere. So
start somewhere, exactly, for sure.
Especially now, if you see the temperature of the world, if you like smarten up, you know better. You know better. Like I feel like I be feeling like Melvin from Baby Boy sometimes. I gotta talk to these niggas like, you gotta talk to them like that. Come on, baby boy, like.
Yeah.
You gotta do better, man. We gotta do better, bro.
Yeah. Give it to how it's supposed to be, man. No sugarcoating, man. That's how you gotta do it, for sure. You already know. Yeah, man.
I'm sorry about that. I just had to add that.
It's all good, man. Great conversation as always, man. Till the next time, fellas. Y'all stay safe, man. You heard?
Yes, sir.
Peace, y'all. Be safe.
Peace.